before you received Christ, before you got the money, before you built the houses, before you became a minister, before you became a pastor, before you became whatever you are today. Think of it. According to human standards, you were not attractive. No one will invite you, but God did. Be grateful to God. You were despised because you were smelling. You were ugly. There was nothing that could attract anything good to you. But God came and changed your life. Be grateful. You could just die like your great great grandfathers died, in idolatry, in darkness. But God called you out, cleaned you up, and made you His. Be grateful to God. Think of what you were when you were called, because you were not like this. And that's why we have to learn to accommodate and tolerate brothers and sisters who have difficulty in accepting Christ. And our prayer is that they will see the light and get to know Him, because the life in Christ is the super life, is the real life, is the purposeful life. You see, because if it has to do with your strength, if it has to do with your power, can you serve God? You see, God is not looking for perfect people. He's looking for people who says, I am He. Use me, Lord. Use me, Lord. Whatever you are doing, let me be part of it. If I'm going to be a cleaner, let me be part of it. If I'm going to be a drummer, let me be part of it. If I'm going to be an usher, let me be part of it. Whatever you are doing, I want to be part of it. Because the usher can be ushered into greatness. Consider, think of what you were when you were called. Think about it. What were you? What was your strength? The Bible says God chooses the lowly things of this world and the despised things and the things that are not, to nullify the things that are, so that no one may boast before Him. Where is boasting? Where is boasting? My boasting is in the Lord. So He says, therefore, as it is written, let the one who boasts boast in the Lord. I am what I am by the grace of God. I am what I am because of God. But for God, where would I have been? But for Him, what would have been my story? But for Him, where I was born could not have given me this. My qualification could not have made me this. My possession could not have made me who I am. But God. Think of what you were before now. Think about it. Think of the things you did. Think of the useless life you were living. If your past were to determine your future, what future would you have? If your beginning were to define your end, what would be your end? If your yesterday was to determine your tomorrow, what kind of tomorrow would you have? Think of what you were when you were called. Consider, remember. When I remember what the Lord has done, I will forever remain grateful to Him. When I remember what the Lord has done, I will forever Remain grateful. Say thank you, my Lord. I am grateful for all the things you have done. Oh, thank you, my Lord. I am grateful for all you have done. See, you have to remember to appreciate your current condition. You have to remember in order to be grateful. You have to remember in order to humble yourself. You have to remember so that your shoulders can be down. You have to remember what you were before God came into your life. What didn't you have, but now you have? What did you not know, but now you know? What could you not see, but now you see? The God factor in your life is the life itself you need. We were failures. I was a nobody. But God called me. I don't know what He saw in me before He called me. If you are a Christian today, be grateful to God. I'm not talking about riches. I'm not talking about wealth. That is a plus. But if you have Christ in your life today, be grateful to God that you know Christ. Be grateful. Just have a session of thanksgiving. Father, I thank you that I am born again. Because if you understand the surpassing value and the surpassing glory of being in Christ, you will realize that it is a life worth having. Yet not many have this privilege. If you are a Christian, if you have Christ in your life, if you have God in your life, be grateful that you received the gift of God before you were called. Some were murderers, some were morally outcast, some were not worthy of sitting where people will sit. What were you? What were you? Think of it and be grateful. What kind of life did you have before you received Christ? In fact, and at the time you received Christ, what life did you have? Some could not forgive, bitter, jealousy. Until today, it's still in some people. But you must thank God that you walk out of something and now you've come into something better. You walk out of your former life and now you are in a new life, which is in Christ. It's a life uncomparable. It's a life that cannot be matched with anything. It's a life that is super high life. It's the God kind of life. According to the standards of this world, we were nothing. But you called us and you made us who we are. And we are what we are because you called us. Because He called us. That is why we are who we are.